Welcome back to another Fortnite tips and tricks video. And this one's going to be another Inside the Mind style video where I go through my decisions I make while playing Fortnite Zero Build and share tips and tricks along the way. I'm also going to share a very good drop spot for solos as well as a really awesome loot path that should have you stacked for loot very quickly in order to help you win more games. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So you can see the drop spot I've picked here on the map. It's very central to the map, and it's also just on the outside of the Olympus biome. Now what makes this drop spot so good is the fact that, oh my god, stop freaking mantling. Urgh. Anyways, what makes this drop spot so good is that there's a guaranteed god chest spawn every game. There's also an NPC who can sell you chug splashes as well as a purple Warforged AR, or you could also challenge her and she will drop a guaranteed blue Warforged and a Huntress DMR every single time. The spot is usually not contested either. Also, whenever you pick up a weapon with the drum bag, make sure that you tap that reload button. There's also a very high chance for a vehicle spawn out front of this location. It's one of the few locations in the Olympus biome that has a high chance to spawn a car instead of a motorbike. But what we're really hoping to see here is the shadow briefing quest for the 2 buried treasures. Now, if we see this, your game's going to be stacked. But now, what if it isn't there? Well, we already have a backup plan. So you can always go and try to third-party Olympus. You can try to third-party Brawler's Battleground, or you can go try to third-party both of them afterwards to get both battalions. Also, the spot has a chance for 2 weapon bunkers to spawn nearby. One of them is also right near a forecast tower, kind of near Reckless Railways. There's also another chance for another forecast tower more close to where we landed by the Meowscles house. And at the time of recording this, the Star Wars Imperial camps are back in play in the game, and if you see blue smoke, it means you might be able to rescue Chewbacca at this location just around the corner, which is where I was gonna land initially, but I seen so many people going there, and I see the other spot was clean, so I just went to this spot instead. Let them all kill each other and fight over Wookiee bowcasters and get eliminated early, right? Now, back to the buried treasure. They'll be marked on your map as 2 yellow circles, almost similar to a medallion circle except smaller. So you go and you dig up the buried treasure, and you're gonna get really good loot out of these almost every single time, at least purple or legendary. Just look for the little white beam around a little mound with sparkles coming from and dig it up. Damn, seems like they really want me to use the Frenzy Auto Shock in this game, eh? So as you can see, I pretty much just landed, and I'm already at full HP, have extra heals, and an entire legendary loadout without going to a boss location. So now that I'm fully kitted up, I finally see an indicator that I have footsteps nearby and that there's an enemy close to me. So I take a couple shots at him with the DMR. I immediately go push him, pick up an easy elimination with the golden hand cannon despite missing a couple shots. I don't know what to do with this gun, I'm just not a fan of it anymore. Ever since we've added bullet drop in the game, it's just not what it used to be. And the Meowscles NPC is still here now. You can hire him for 250 gold, and he also sells a purple gatekeeper for 300. So yes, you can land, buy full shields through splashes, a purple Warforged, and then right over here get a purple gatekeeper and an NPC for under 1,500 gold. Now, with the Star Wars update, all the Avatar mythics have been removed from the game except for waterbending, as you still do need it to complete Korra's questline. Also, all the Greek-themed weapons have been added back to the game, including Chains of Hades, Zeus's Lightning Bolt, and the wings of Icky Carcass. Dumbass came and say Icarus right. No, I didn't say it right. Anyways, everyone talks shit about the wings of Icarus because they don't use them properly and try to use them in order to flee once they're already getting beamed in a fight. And they just get fried. They say, oh, they're trash because they turn into an icky carcass. Rewind the clip and see what I just did there. And remember, kids, don't fly too close to the sun. I will elaborate more on this later in the video. Anyways, oh wait, what's going on now? Wait. This is the forecast tower you're fencing, is it not? Oh wait, so yeah, you have a chance to get 3 different forecast towers landing at the spot. Not just the 2 that I mentioned. Who knew? This bot just keeps giving and giving and going and going. Like the Energizer Bunny. Happy Easter. So anyways, if you ain't noticed, I switched out that golden DMR for water bending. Why? Because water bending is just freaking broken. And as long as water bending's in the game, I really don't feel that there's any point in using the DMR. I'm a big fan of the DMR, but more times than not, you're just gonna get fried by somebody with water bending when you try to use the DMR now, because you'll be out DPS. So it is what it is, I guess. Also, the Star Wars E11 blasters have been added back to the game. And yes, you still can't hit shit with them, just like the Stormtroopers can't when you watch any Star Wars movie. So, yeah. Really close range. It's okay. It's a spray weapon, like, but there's still better shit to use. Yeah, the Wookiee Bowcaster. So this is the very first time I ever used this. At first, I was hating this thing until I figured out how to use it. So you can kind of tap fire it like normal, but it's kind of slow. And you can also charge it down, and then it will also have explosive splash damage. So it's kind of almost like the TNT Tina's boom bow, except you don't have to wait for the ammo to recharge. You can just keep charging it up and shooting it and adding explosive damage over and over and over and over again, just like it's the Energizer Bunny. It keeps going and going and going and going. So it does like 132 on a body shot, like 190 if you hit them in the head, or like 66 I think on splash damage. So what I found actually worked the best was actually just shooting at their kneecaps or their feet. If you hit them, you get to 132. If you miss, you still do 66 explosive splash damage. Now the E11 blaster does suck. Only reason I won that fight is because I was close enough range against that guy with the water bending. Now here's something you might not have known that you can do with the Wookiee Bowcaster. If you charge it up and shoot a fishing spot, you can actually farm some fish since it's explosive. Kind of a niche bonus, but still kind of good to know. Also, Chains of Hades, you can also catch fish with that, with the pull attack. Now, normally I would have picked up this Warforged AR here, but I really did want to try to use the Star Wars Mythics and Chain of Hades and the Zeus stuff since it was added back to the game. The tactical AR just really doesn't have the DPS to actually stand a chance against majority of weapons in majority situations, so leave that on the ground. When it was first added back to the game, it seemed like it was a lot better than it was, probably because everybody else was also picking it up and having a low DPS weapon and messing around with it. So now notice I'm opening my map and marking where the next storm circle is going to be, so I don't have to do it later when I might be in a more sticky situation. Now, did you hear that? This player just made the dumbest mistake ever. He literally just threw down a porta bunker. I had no idea he was there. He just alerted me of his position. He could literally just use this building here for cover, and I wouldn't have known he was there. So I immediately jump out and use a satellite dish as cover, start applying pressure, and he starts shooting at me, and then I'll look what I did. I literally jumped up, used the wings, and dive bombed right on him. Now remember earlier how I said we would elaborate on this more later in this video and to not fly too close to the sun? When you use the wings of Icarus, you don't want to use them and fly up high in the air. You want to be flying low to the ground, near cover, use them to rotate, or as you can see here, I've used them twice in this game to push a person in a porta bunker. Why? Because they expect you to use shockwaves or something like that in order to push them when they're in a porta bunker. They don't expect you, when you jump up with the wings, to just dive bomb right on them, and they don't know what to do. So they immediately panic and either flee or jump out of the bunker, and then you can take it for yourself. This works more often than you would actually think, because the majority of players, when they see somebody use the wings, immediately think, oh my god, this guy's using the wings. He's not a good player. He's afraid of me. He's running. I'm just going to get to fry this guy out of the air so easy. Why is he using the wings? He must be really weak. He's going to run from me. Same goes for the Chains of Hades. If you pull the Chains of Hades out near somebody and start swinging it, a lot of times they're just going to run from you because it does so much damage. And also with the Wookiee Bowcaster, another great tip, even if you can't really see your opponent, I hit one guy when he was running away from me, not too sure if I was a lucky shot or hit was splash damage from the explosive. Just keep firing, because twice in this game I ended up hitting people and taking them out with that weapon, not being able to see them. And with that, I ended up winning this game with 9 eliminations, and I originally wasn't even going to land where I was going to land. That was my backup spot, because I was going to originally land at the Imperial camp to try to get Chewbacca, but there was too many people there. This late on into the season, you really should know where you like landing, and you should already have a game plan and a loop path already planned out, and you should also know where you're going to go if someone is going to beat you to your drop, because the majority of other good players already do know their drop spots like the back of their hands and already have their game plans and loot paths already planned out, and this is even more so the case if you're going to play ranked. Now, I'm not saying don't drop anywhere else and never end up learning the rest of the map, but what I am saying is if you end up dying a lot off a spawn and people keep having better loot than you or beating you to the drop, if you're landing all over the place, this is probably why. At this point in the season, you should at least have 1 to 3 drop spots that you are very comfortable with landing at, and some loot paths already planned out that you have played through many times over and over again and know very well. How do you expect to win when you're landing at different places every single game because you are told to land there due to a match quest and you need to reach 50 players remaining or have to emote for 5 seconds? How do you expect to win against the players who land there and are so comfortable fighting there and looting there and know every single little thing about that spot? But that will be it for this video. I'm Big Papa Smurf 187. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here, and let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this year's Star Wars update. And don't forget to have fun gaming. Catch you on the next one.